The Smith family had been searching for a new home for months, and they were thrilled when they found Hillside Manor. The old mansion was located on the outskirts of town, and it had been standing since the earlies. The family was drawn to its grandeur and history, and they decided to make it their new home. The family consisted of Jack and Sarah, and their 2 children, Emily and Danielle. They moved into the mansion with excitement and anticipation, eager to start a new chapter in their lives. The mansion was impressive, with its sweeping staircase, ornate moldings, and a sprawling garden filled with exotic plants and trees. The Smiths were thrilled with their new home, and they spent their days exploring the mansion and its grounds. However, things started to change soon after they moved in. The family started experiencing strange occurrences that they could not explain. At first, it was just small things like doors opening and closing on their own, objects moving inexplicably, and strange noises in the night. But as time went on, the hauntings became more intense and terrifying. One night, Sarah was awakened by a loud banging sound that seemed to be coming from inside the walls. When she got up to investigate, the sound stopped and she was left feeling uneasy and afraid. The next morning, Jack woke up to find that all the doors and windows in the house had been opened, even though he was sure he had locked them before going to bed. As the days went on, the hauntings became more frequent and intense. The family would hear footsteps in empty hallways, see shadowy figures moving in the corners of their eyes, and smell strange, unpleasant odors that seemed to come from nowhere. The children started experiencing nightmares, and Emily complained of feeling as though someone was watching her every move. One evening, while the family was having dinner, the lights suddenly went out. In the darkness, they heard a woman's voice calling out for help, but when they turned on the lights, no one was there. The family started to realize that they were not alone in the mansion. As the hauntings became more violent, the family began to turn on each other. They suspected that one of them was causing the disturbances, and they started to accuse each other of being the culprit. The family dynamic became strained, and they stopped communicating with each other, each person dealing with the hauntings on their own. In an attempt to solve the mystery of the hauntings, the family decided to do some research on the history of the mansion. They discovered that the house had been the site of several tragic events, including the death of a young woman who had been murdered by her husband in one of the bedrooms. They also learned that the mansion had been built on an ancient burial ground, and that the spirits of the dead had been disturbed by the construction of the house. The Smiths realized that the mansion was cursed, and that the hauntings would never stop. Finally, the family decided that they could no longer live in the mansion. They packed up their belongings and left the house, hoping to escape the hauntings. But to their horror, they discovered that the ghosts had followed them. The hauntings continued to haunt them wherever they went, and the family realized that they were doomed to be tormented by the ghosts of Hillside Manor forever. The Smiths tried everything to get rid of the hauntings. They consulted with paranormal investigators who confirmed that the mansion was indeed cursed. They tried exorcisms, blessing the house, and even moving to a different country, but nothing seemed to work. The ghosts were relentless, and they continued to haunt the family no matter where they went. Eventually, the family became